Okay, so today we are talking about word problems. Some will be inequalities. That means when you're greater than, less than, at least, less than or equal to, signs. And y'all actually did those last year, but you're going to like this year much better. So go ahead and write this at the top. This is just a reminder of the signs because you will need the signs. Okay, so greater than, the mouth is open. Less than, your left hand actually makes a less than sign. At least is the one people always get confused on because you're thinking at least means smaller. No, if you have to make at least a 70 to pass, is it that 70 or greater? Okay, so keep that in mind when you hear at least. Less than or equal to, the underline means or equal to. So you're going to like when we do inequalities, because as a 7th grader, you did these. You had to solve them. Yeah. We don't solve them as an 8th grader. I know, that's weird. You all had the same look. I was like, what? It should be the other way around. As a 7th grader, you should set them up. And as an 8th grader, you should solve them. No. As an 8th grade, we just set them up, and we don't even have to solve them. Okay? So when you're talking about inequalities, all we're doing is setting up the equation. Okay? So Marcus is training for a bike race and has biked 25 miles this week. He needs to bike at least 80 miles this week to complete his training. How many miles should Marcus bike on each of his 5 remaining days this week? So our variable that we don't know is how many miles. Let's see if I can spell miles. Miles per day. That is what I don't know. So that's going to be my X. How many days do we have to ride those? We still have 5 days left. So we're going to do 5X. We have 5 days. We're going to figure out how many miles we need to ride. Now, he has already rode 25 miles. So put plus 25. And I'm going to explain because you're thinking, but wait, he's already done 25 miles. Shouldn't we subtract that? I'm going to show you why we put a plus sign in a minute. Okay? Now, he needs to go 80 miles. At least. Since he needs to go at least 80 miles, this side needs to be greater than or equal to 80 miles. Now, I'm going to show you why we put a plus. Because if I had to solve this, I would do circle, cover, cover. What's opposite of plus 25? And I would subtract 25 from 80. Do you see why we put a plus? Yeah. Because if you put a subtraction there, you'd add 25 to 80. He doesn't have to go 105 miles, does he? No. He has to go at least 80. So do you see why we put a plus on that left-hand side? Okay, but guess what? You don't have to solve it. That's your answer. You're done. That's it. Okay? Jamal has $15 to spend at the concession stand. So he has a total of $15. He buys nachos for $7.50. and he wants to purchase some candy for $1.50 each.
So plus $1.50 plus $1.50x.
Perfect. 150x, because the question says how many boxes of candy can he buy? That's why I'm putting the X with the candy. Now think about this. You have $15 in your pocket.
The sign is less than or equal to.
Okay. It is less than or equal to because you have $15 you can spend, right?
Yes.
And you can spend every penny of it. But you cannot spend more. So do you see why it's less than or equal to? Okay? So just think of things like that. Oh, I can't go up there. I only have $15. I can't spend over that. I'm going to look really funny, right? When you go, oh, I don't have any money. Okay, now we have a gift card. The gift card is $30. And today your paper is going to be scratch paper. So what you are going to do is you're just going to scratch out your equation and then pick the correct one because they're all multiple choice. Okay? Now, we already know we have a gift card that has $30 on it.
You can't go over.
You can't go over it, but can we spend it?
Yes. Yes. Less than or equal.
Less than or equal. I already know that because it's a gift card. And I haven't even read the rest of the problem. Okay? Now, she bought $9 picture frame and she wants to buy $3 journals with the leftover money on the card. How many journals? So what am I going to put the X with?
The 3.
Voila. Okay, so the next one's a little different. Oh, we don't have to find the solution. The length of a rectangle, let's draw a rectangle, is 8 more than twice its width. What do we not know anything about?
The width.
The width.
The width.
I don't know what the width is. But the length is 8 more than twice its width. How do you do twice? Times 2. So that would be 2x more means plus 8. So 2x plus 8. So I've written my rectangle down. Now I need to read the statement. It says the length. So underneath that, I'm going to write what I wrote for my length. 2x plus 8 is less than 34. Less than. Put the less than sign. And you're done. Doesn't say or equal to. It just says less than. Okay? Left hand makes a less than sign. You just got to know which is your left and your right. Okay. You try number 5. Okay, what is your variable?
The amount of chocolate bars he sells.
Chocolate bars. I lost my calculator. Okay. He has sold $40 worth. If he sells over 175, he wins a prize. Each bar is $2.50. So 250x. Now, if you wrote it like this, that's still the same thing. Okay, you can totally flip-flop those. That's totally okay. Now, what sign do I need to put there?
Greater than.
Not or equal to, right? It says over. It doesn't say if he sells 175 or more. So do you see? It says over. So 175 doesn't count. Now, while we're on inequalities, let's look at the other page. And then we'll come back to the just the two-step equation word problems. So let's go to this page. You're actually going to have one like this on your test. And you're going to see how simple this is. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the length AB. And I'm going to write down here, I'm on number 1, length AB, and underneath it I'm going to put 10x minus 19. Okay? Then I'm going to write AD, and I'm going to put 2.5x plus 55. So I've just set up what it says. Was that hard? No. Do this, don't just look at your answers, because that's when you mess up. Now I'm going to read, it says, the length of AB is greater than.
That means we're going to be using
The greater than sign, the open one. So now look at your answer choices. Which one is it? That's what you're doing. You try number 2. It is easy. I know y'all would think it should be a lot harder. It's not. Set it up. Don't just circle something. Okay, you set them up, then it says less than. What sign am I going to use? So your answer is D. Okay, so those, like I said, you do not have to solve them. That's all you'd be doing. Okay, so now we're going to go to equations, which, yes, as an 8th grader, we solved them. These are your major. They can ask you in word problems, they can ask you in a picture, and they can ask you just as an equation. So now you will have seen them all. Okay? Your next test is on the 30th. It's a Monday.
Oh, man.
So no test this week, no test next week. Okay. Here you go. Mr. Majors ordered 6 hot dogs and a bucket of popcorn at the concession stand. If the popcorn was $3.20, we know that, and the total, it's now going to be an equal sign, was $18.20. What is the price of one hot dog? What do I not know anything about?
Hot dog.
The hot dog price. How many hot dogs did we buy?
Oh.
6, because it's written right here, and it's written out. It didn't just say the number 6. Here you go. So 6x. Now you have to solve these. Okay? So here we go. I'm going to write it over here. 320 plus 6x equals 1820. Draw your line. Circle. Cover, cover. What's the opposite of what you see?
Positive. Negative.
Negative 320.
Which would equal.
What I do to one side?
To the other, which would equal 15. I'm correct.
Am I done?
Nope.
You gotta divide it by 6 on both.
Divide both sides by 6. 2.50 is a cost of a hot dog. A student bought a juice pouch for $2.50 and 3 bags of chips. The total cost was $5.05. Write and solve the equation to determine the cost of a bag of chips. How many bags of chips did I buy?
3.
3. And if you wrote the bag of chips first, that would also be okay. You could have written 3x plus 250 equals 505. That's totally okay. So I draw my line. I circle. Cover, cover. What's the opposite of positive 250? Negative 250. What you do to one side? What is 505 minus 250?
255.
To what?
255.
What do I do now?
Divided by 3. It gives you 85 cents per 25.
85 cents is correct. You try number 3. They do have information in there you don't need, so keep that in mind. information we don't need.
The bill.
$16 on
Awesome. Well,
No, the total
We
bill.
don't need to know the total number of books. That's nothing we need. Okay? Now, the total bill was 112. See how scratch paper's gonna be nice? Actually, you'll write these out tomorrow. The total bill was 112. She spent $16 on magazines, and the books cost $12 each. How many books did she buy? Circle, cover, cover. Oh, run away. What is 112 minus 16? Divide by 12, divide by 12. How many books did we buy? 8. Now, the next one, you're probably going to want to draw your rectangle over here so we have plenty of room to work. The length of a rectangle is 8 more than twice its width. It is the same rectangle as we had on the other side. So your width is x, and your length is still 2x plus 8. So it is the same rectangle as we had on the other side. This is where it's different. The perimeter is 88. How do you find the perimeter of something?
By adding all the
Add all sides. So watch. X plus x, there are my two widths. Plus 2x plus 8 plus 2x plus 8. All of that equals 88. Whew. You should have all that written down. I'm going to go ahead and put ones in front of my little x's that are by themselves, because I first need to combine like terms. And I have 1x plus 1x plus 2x plus 2x. So what is 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 6? 6x. Then I have the no-name family is what I call it. The plus 8 and plus 8. And it equals 88. Well, that looks much nicer, doesn't it? Now I can circle, cover, cover. What's opposite of plus 16? What you do to one side? 72. Divide by 6, divide by 6.
12.
Okay, now, that is your width. And we were looking for our width. The question says find the dimensions. So now we're going to look at the length. Your length, I'm going to write 2 times blank plus 8. I put a blank there because that's where the x was. Because wasn't our length 2x plus 8? So I just put a blank where that is. You just told me my x was 12. So I'm going to put a 12 where my blank is. Now in a normal calculator, 2 times 12 plus 8.
Ooh.
32.
And your length is 32. If you wanted to check yourself, you could do 32 plus 32 plus 12 plus 12, and it would give you 88. You do number 5. You need to make sure you have all of that written down, because it said find both. It didn't just say find the width. sitting there. You should have already set it up. Tomorrow you'll have nice big boxes to put your work in. Instead of squishing it in a little bitty spot. Not covering. What are we missing? What's our variable?
The price of cookies.
The price of the cookies. So, now, my question is, how many cookies did we buy?
We bought 8.
How many?
8.
24. We bought 8 chocolate chip and 16 sugar. So how many total cookies did we buy? 24. So that's something you have to be careful with. We didn't just buy 8 or we didn't just buy 16. We bought a total of 24 cookies. So first of all, you had to do 8 plus 16 and you got 24 cookies. And when he was in that bakery, he saw a tasty looking cupcake and he bought a cupcake for $2.75. Plus his 24 cookies that we don't know the cost of them, so that's the reason we're going to put an X.
Then 44.
And his bill, his total was $44.03. Circle, cover, cover. What is 4405 minus 275?
41.28.
4128?
Yes.
Divide by 24.
1.7.
Divide by 24. And each cookie, you are correct, is $1.72. Okay, so now we're gonna go glue.
Yeah.
Now, we'll catch up on our table of contents in a minute. We'll glue first. Remember if you did not glue your exemplar on page 7 yesterday, that should go on the top of your picture one.
Of course, someone put it, the blue stick from this, from 18 here.
So you're going to put, your exemplar should be on top of your pictures from yesterday, or from the other day. We're going to page 8 for this one. And you are going to take the one with all the words, and you are going to fold it in half. You're going to take the picture one, and you're going to fold it in half. So this is mine with all the words. I folded it in half and glued it down. going to take the one with the pictures, and I'm going to fold it in half and glue it on top of that. So, just half glue glue. So you're putting them both on the same page. We'll now go to our table of contents. And we are going to add inequalities and word problems. Okay, once you finish that, step one is you are going, today's assignment is 6 problems, and it's just inequalities, and I gave you scratch paper, so you can write them out as you're doing it. You're going to go into Google Classroom, and it's a teacher-made one, so you'll click on the little picture, you'll click on the first link, you'll click on the teacher-made, the picture, then you'll click the little blue button that says teacher made, and you'll work those. Do not rush through them. There's only 6 problems, so there are count off a bunch. When you hit submit, it'll give you your grade, and then you know I have it. Once you finish that, you need to complete anything you haven't. If you have everything complete, then you can work on another class's work, or you can read.